Because we don't like to think that this is happening in our communities. We don't like to think that this is happening locally. We like to think that this is an issue that takes place out of sight, but this is happening and it's very real.
I mean, I have youth that are in the most rural parts of the state, and then I also have youth who come from New Haven, you know, so it affects every group of people, every demographic.
And at times, it can be a hard job, and some people can't do it because they think, well, this youth doesn't want to change. It has nothing to do with the fact that they don't want to, but this is just part of their defense mechanism. Sometimes they don't see themselves of value. It's really hard because you're the one person who sees that. You see them shining, you see them in such a big light, and they don't.
So I think it's super easy to think of traffickers as what we see in movies. What people don't realize is that traffickers are our neighbors.
Sometimes through the internet, they meet somebody online, or they meet somebody else, or it can be a family member. Youth that have experienced trauma are more likely to be vulnerable to being groomed by somebody.
Grooming is the process that a trafficker will go through to develop the trust of a youth.
It was the emotional connection that they met, and they start to exploit them.
And so we often work with a lot of youth that are in the fight or flight mode because that's all that their bodies have ever known.
We work with some youth that hurt themselves, that harm themselves, that cut themselves because they're looking for some sort of release to that pain that they're experiencing. And we do our best to provide the safe space to be able to imagine what life could be outside of a world where people are taking advantage of you.
A lot of the youth that we work with don't see themselves as victims. By the end of our conversation, she sat back in her chair and she was like, wow, I guess she was grooming me. I guess that really was trafficking.
We start to work very slowly on small goals with them and showing them these small successes that they can actually be a normal teenager. We have the ability to take them to a trampoline park, go on a hike, just to allow them to be that child again is really exciting.
And seeing that light come back to their eyes over time is just an amazing thing for them to be able to recognize that there are so many things that they can do.
There's this breathtaking moment of relief. It's almost like somebody just told me my value is worth more than I ever thought it could be.
But this isn't to say that I'm somebody going in to save anybody, or I'm somebody going in to rescue someone. That's not my role. My role is to support, empower, strengthen the resiliency that's already there. And more often than not, actually all the time, they're doing all the work, and I'm just there to witness it.